Rangott.
Andy, remember when we used to think 60 was old?
Yeah, already been there and done that, Dick. It was a long time ago.
We're just trying, and I'll read out. So it could be any ball laps. Read them. That's great.
Hope you enjoy the weekend, and we hope the weather stays as it is for the rest of the weekend. A couple of things I'd like to there's in the Group L there's a section of cart you can't hear. Can you hear now? Yeah. Good. We collected from advised in the program, so you should know. Go and collect cars in event 27 tomorrow. Those drivers, as you come in from your race, I'd like you to meet just over near the Toyo, like you see all there, for the presentation. About a few issues. In last weekend, there were some extra passages put into the driver behaviour. Grid sheets for all competitors in applied handicap.
As I said to the regularity guys, blame Dave Midland and Graham Towers. They both took up my job and then both decided to go driving. So their pleasure, your bad luck. You got me again. Now look, but is that 20? Fine. Now, I was very pleased the other day because I got given a bulletin from CAMS. Graham Towers, Dave Medley, Mal Booster sat down with the Q&R guys and said, hey guys, you guys have got a problem, how are you going to solve it? And you did. Basically, when you as a faster car come through and you're racing with someone, you pass a slower group, you don't take advantage of passing the slower cars to go and place yourself. Now, that was a rule we put in here. It worked well. And now, to all intent and purpose, CAM's Commission, Historic Commission, have come up with the same philosophy. But if there's a red flag, you go around the track and organise the whole thing. You're usually panic-stricken, trying to fix up what's happening on the track. Simple and easy. Guys, see that?
Wakefield Park, on behalf of the management and crew here, we welcome everybody to Wakefield Park, and including you, Leslie, welcome. And we hope that you enjoy your weekend of racing. And good afternoon to Andrew Percy. Afternoon, Andrew.
Hi, Frank. Good afternoon, everybody. And on behalf of Historic Sports and Racing Car Association, welcome. It's all right, we're just... Cars going up on the track. As always, a huge thank you to all of our officials, be they down in scrutineering in the offices, the crash rescue and fire teams, the officials out on the track. You do a terrific job for us, and thank you very, very much indeed for all of your efforts. There's a good sunny day today, but we know officials also work in the wet and the wind and the snow, particularly down here at Wakefield Park, so thank you again.
Yeah, Andy Ball, Bill.
Oh, he said you only played it once.
number 35.
I think Chris was late going out, and then he tried to sort of catch up to his original.
And we're racing. Richard Carter makes a terrific start there. Michael Henderson moves up into second position. Flag is up and we're racing.
And a very good start, so number 3, car 3 had a bad start on the line, and
to organise everything are obviously our dummy grid officials who form the cars up before they go out onto the track, make sure everyone's in the right sequence. Again, as always, thank you to them. Further back is car number 14, and that's John Evans from Victoria in the Lotus Super 7. Our staff is getting ready, revs are building, the flag is raised, and we're racing. Chevron gets well off the line, Thompson's fourth mode is in. Stanley's just taken down the position there. We've had an incident on the right-hander coming down onto the straight, and I see that the Matic is stranded out there, waiting for the traffic to clear. Find a way around Tony Simmons as they come down straight down.
I have given up driving Aston Martins and now prefer to drive Jaguars. I will be at the 20.
We visited the John Wayne Museum in Tasmania. First, welcome to Clifton Rentals. You trusted partner for exceptional property management.
Kenny in the Thompson Sports manages to pose right up this time on the Hustler.
Lump of wood technique may actually resolve all of the issues, so we'll have to see how Max goes. Can be a very, very quick car. Yesterday we saw some great racing out of this group, and a number of the people who were featuring in that are out there right now. In second position is Tony Simmons in the Hustler. That's the clubman. Then behind is car number 57. That's Ray Kenny in the Thompson Sport. And then a bit further back we've got car number 76 is the Datsun 2000. That's David Stone's car being driven by Wayne Vinks. And a number of those guys had a really good dice yesterday afternoon, so we will see what happens today. Today is actually, it's a 5-lap scratch race, but it has a post-applied handicap. A number of people prefer to actually have a straight scratch race on the basis that they can worry about the handicaps afterwards, and in some respects it's sometimes easier in terms of the mix of cars in a field to actually run it that way. So Max Brunninghausen Chevron coming down onto pole position, Tony Simmons in the Hustler, Ray Kenny in the Thompson Sport, Wayne Vinks in the Datsun 2000. Then a little bit further back we've got Loic Lecroix in Les Wright's ARA clubman. That's car number 9. Alongside is car number 14. That's John Evans from Victoria, so another interstater. Welcome there. We should actually have another interstater just a little bit further back, which is 71 is Phil Lane from South Australia. Starter is ready, flags dropped, and we're racing. Oh, great start from Max Brunninghausen. Simmons in the Hustler bogs things down, so Kenny's able to get through. So we've got the Chevron, then the Thompson Sport, the Hustler, Datsun 2000. Great mix of cars in here, Frank.
Certainly is, Andrew.
You're going to be very hard work today. A little further back in the field, I noticed Colin Dodds has got car number 11. That's the light. Colin punts that around with great verve, I think is the expression.
See, I don't know these particular cars, Andrew, so I really can't make any comment. As long as we just see great racing, I'll update the times for you.
Okay, well look, Colin Dodds just made the move on the inside there, runs out a little bit wide in the gurgler, but managed to get through, and he actually took Lynn Cooper's U2 clubman just going through there, and we've got a wheel come off something, so obviously we've got...
Where's the wheel?
It will
not
be
a spare wheel, is it? It's on the back.
It looks suspiciously like it could be a spare that's gone walkabout. Max Brunninghausen goes through in the Chevron, just going through the sweeper now down towards the end of the straight. So we'll just keep an eye on things. That ended up down by the tyre wall, so out of everybody's way, fortunately. And the other thing with that lightweight Sprite, that car number 11, is left-hand drive, which is probably a little bit more interesting on a circuit like this.
Yeah, somebody's lost a spare wheel.
Okay, well, That's one way of taking the weight out of the car, but I think it would have been better if they'd taken it off before they went out on the track. I think one of the regulations says with clubmen that in a lot of instances they're actually obliged to carry the spare wheel because of the configuration.
Lady, is it?
No, it's more than that, because the Fair Lady, I think it was the earlier 1600, and this is into the...
2 litre, is it?
Yep.
All right, well, I always would have liked to have one.
Okay, well that's the Diamond Traders car. It's been around for a while. David Stone's been campaigning it recently, and now obviously he's put Wayne Vicks in the car. And car's very, very competitive. Goes...
And we'll eventually take it out, providing.
Yep. In order to finish first, you've got to first finish.
That's very true.
And we've seen that a few times here at Wakefield Park in various events over the seasons.
Andrew, does that happen to me when I have a bottle of Pinot Noir?
Box in the Lotus 23, just past him going up the hill there. And
Tell you what, he's smooth, isn't it?
Yep. It's a 2-litre BMW, and Chevron produce some absolutely superb sports cars, and make us take that run along the short straight there, go through onto the back straight, but Max Brunninghausen, runaway victory for Max, just coming down to take the checkered flag, so Max Brunninghausen, car number 48, the Chevron, wins that race.
Yes, his fastest lap was a 106.79 on lap 4. A 107.17 on that particular lap. Kenny just
going across the line now, number 57.
And then Winks
is coming through now, car number 76. Yep.
And then... Okay, welcome back, and here's the unofficial commentator.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, you're an official commentator.
Or am I officially unofficial? I don't know.
Okay, the next event on the program is the Group Q&R Sports and Racing Cars. 5 laps, and I believe they've got a 2-lap warm-up too.
I think they'd be needing a warm-up today. Will be on pole position. Alongside will be Ty Hanger. And Richard moving around, just trying to get some heat into the tyres. Michael Henderson in car number 2, Peter Addison in car number 14, Cole Haste in car number 44, Chris Farrell in car number 35. Okay, we'll pick up some more as they go through. 15 looks like Waldon's in his team of sports. That's the local sports car going through now. Number 8 is Adam Watts in the Cheetah. 114 is Kendall Barry Potter, the PRS 82F. People... and Chris Smith has actually made it up here into commentary. Any particular observations on that while we're waiting for the cars to form up on the grid?
Well, you note that they've given them 2 warm-up laps, and they would be running slightly lower pressures due to the ambient temperature. The fact that the track temperature overnight would have reduced dramatically, and no sun on it keeps it low. So each of the drivers will be conscious of this and endeavouring to get as much heat in the tyres as they possibly could prior to the start. However, they're gridding up now, and of course we've got Richard Carter on pole position with Ty Hanger up the side, and the ex-Niki Lauda March 722 with Dr. Michael Henderson aboard, right next to Peter Addison in the Chevron B29.
Okay, when we talk about Michael Henderson, I mean, Michael's someone who's been around in motorsport a long time, very much as he's driving that Elwyn 002, and Tim was actually racing here last weekend in the CAMS State Championship round with the modern Formula Fords.
And did very well, I believe.
Yep, so it's good when people are actually running both categories. We're getting ready, adrenaline will certainly be pumping, revs are building, flag is raised, and we're racing.
Once again, Richard Carter's gotten the drop on Ty Hanger, although Ty's made an excellent second gear start. Michael Henderson straight up to 3rd position, holding out Peter Addison. Now using the danger from Chris Farrell. Farrell has making a march, as it were. Ty's gone up to 1st, straight up to Richard Carter with the March 3B. And Farrell, of course, a charger from way back. Richard Carter and Chris Farrell endeavour to have a stoush wherever they go, and today we're no exception. Just watch Chris come down through the cascades and into the hairpin. Ty, meantime's got a handy little lead, and the boys are going at it hammer and tongs, as you can see.
Okay, well, Ty Hanger still leading there, going great guns, and Chris Farrell trying to close up on Richard Carter as they come down into the braking area. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Richard.
uncharacteristic, but that'll be the cold surface of the cold tyres too, Andrew.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's going to take a while for everything to get fully sorted, and as Chris Farrell comes up alongside Carter as they go into the sweeper, looking for the inside line there, but Richard Carter manages to hold him in. We're going to have a big race here, Chris.
Absolutely, he's coming very more speed. Chris Farrell's got the drop on him up the hill, but at the same time, Carter's a campaigner from way back, Formula 4 driver in Europe in 74. Meanwhile, Tyres managed to extract a nice little lead for himself and drive with the champion. Son of Ray here, and no doubt Ray's been some time in his car in preparation. It shows in terms of the quality of the way the car's handling.
Okay, well, as we come round, we'll pick up the lap times this time round, but offers standing, it's really quite something. Lap times today, there's a bit of a, with a Milano just pressing through there. That's 37, that's Scott Whittaker in the...
I think lap times today, Andrew, will be slightly higher than yesterday. We've got
a 58.11 for Ty, and Chris Farrell's at 59.9.
In the meantime, a little bit of difficulty with braking, perhaps. And we've got Anderson in 10th position and maintaining station. Trying to get back to March 722, actually without a car.
Battle taking place down there through the sweeper now, heading down into the braking area at the end of the straight.
Indeed, Andrew, you can cease to be amazed by the amount of movement these cars will generate laterally as they're vying for position, especially in the braking area.
How was it this morning in that area?
Tricky.
Fair enough. Okay, well, Ty's got a very healthy lead now. It's got 57.56 to be the fastest lap of the race from Chris Farrell to 58 dead, and Richard Carter's got back for 100.74.
Meantime, I would think though that Ty's driving very smooth and precise. The fact that he's been able to gap Chris at this stage will make it awfully hard for Farrell to make up the difference unless there's some mix-ups in the track and Ty on this closing stage. About 12 fronts and 14 rears, could be higher slightly, 14 and 16, but not much more than that, which is pretty lightly loaded when you consider the size of the tyres.
And really sensitive in terms of that one PSI difference under certain circumstances. We've got a car that's got up the hill there, just parked on the inside of the circuit there.
Not relying on Andrew's exercise like the tennis.
Yeah, okay. We're going to take it. We'll settle on that, I think. Frank can even agree to that, given his current state of health this morning.
I reckon it's car 11.
Indeed, now he's on sideways for us. Thanks, Frank. Most informed recording.
Okay.
Meanwhile, our leader's got a 100-metre lead out over Chris Farrell. Pass on the right-hand side, comes up the main straight.
But of course, there's the other thing, isn't it, with this, it's a huge discrepancy in performances. Ty Hanger comes down to take the flag. That business of other drivers really being able to point people through and being aware of what's going on the track.
Yep. 2 eyes, 2 mirrors, and lots of attention getting into these cars. They're very quick. And Peter Harrison, to his credit, has closed right up on Michael Henderson. Regrettably not just enough steam, but well driven by those gentlemen. Milano comes over the line, lap there by Ty Hanger of a 57.56, which under the conditions is exemplary, closely followed by Chris.
Which is very, very unfortunate, and probably a good thing that we managed to get that Q&R race out of the way just then before the precipitation started.
Minnow Racing Cars 5-lap handicap race, and we'll be back for that very, very shortly here at the park. Don't forget, Wakefield Park Cafe is open.
Which is Group's M&O Racing Cars, and I'm delighted to welcome Ron Coath up here into the commentary box with us, and he's going to, as he knows the category, help us quite a bit with this. And Ron, normally you'd be driving, so what's been going on?
Thank you, Andrew, for welcoming me in. Yes, my car's been out of action for a little while, and hopefully it'll be a bit better soon.
It's all right. I'm just telling Ron he just doesn't need to keep his finger on the button.
Right.
Okay, you're fine now.
Okay.
So yeah, what in terms of the category and the number of entries we've got this weekend?
it's a little small this weekend because there's a couple of failures, and it's a little disappointing we haven't got a few more cars, and I'm disappointed not to be here myself. But we have got some cars working very well. Mike Ryder's got the Brabham Climax going very well this weekend. He's just rebuilt the motor. It tells me it's got more grunt than ever.
That's that yellow one, isn't it, that we were watching yesterday that was going...
In the first instance, I won't necessarily be the car across the line because you've got a credit lap involved.
Okay, well look, talk us through in terms of who's down on the grid. We've got him in pole position, or in scratch position.
Yes, we've got Peter Johnson in the little Formula Junior Brabham. Then you've got the Griffins, interesting little car with the 1500 Fiat engine. Brian Lear in the Alfa Mono. Henry Walker in the Noah Holt, the Victorian Special built years ago, and that's a wonderful car. You should have a look at that in the pits.
That's number 77?
Number 77. Car 28 today has been driven by Paul Hamilton. Unusual not to see Les in that.
Okay.
After that you've got the Alpha Imp.
Walker waiting in the Nella, he'll be away next. And you might actually, as the cars come through, Ron, maybe you can pick them up for us and just tell us a little bit about the car and the driver.
Well, when that was away, it's a lovely little front-engine Holden Special.
Number 77, yep.
Terrific little car. Of course, the next one away is going to be the car of Les Wright, which is stalled on the line. That's Paul Hamilton having his first run in it. He's bagged it up. It's away.
Suddenly discovering just what it's like.
What it's like to have about 300 horsepower, I think.
Number 28 going down towards the end of the straight now.
Yep. There's the Alpha Imp away. What's in the next car? Oh, that's... And
then is it Jeff
his old car, the Delta, next to him in 17, and number 3, John Ashwell. Then Ed Holly in number 5, the Alpha, and the Griffin, I think, was the last car away. Oh, sorry.
And now here's
Mike Ride's the last one away. Yep. He's got a lot of work to do on the damn track.
Okay, now, in ideal conditions, what lap times would we be expecting to see?
Well, I think the lap times are a little slow this weekend. Ride's at 108 yesterday, the dry. And I think he probably does better than it normally, and particularly with the car running very well, so it must be a little bit slow, I think, at the moment. But on a good day, it's about 108, so probably 107.
Okay, all right, well, obviously, we'll get...
It's only 998 cc's, but Max is a very experienced campaigner, and he gets it right up the front. It's a very good little car driver combination.
Okay, well, Mike Rives, just looking at lap times, his quickest is a 112.39.
Yeah, so that's... tells us a little bit about the state of the track. It must be a bit damp still.
Yeah, well, hopefully, if this is all the rain we get, we'll be fortunate. I'm not too confident just looking at some of those clouds, you know, Ron. In terms of tyres, then, what's the tyre requirement in this particular route?
We're handicapped on a wet day today, like today, because we run most of the cars are running a Dunlop M tyre, which is an old jet tyre across the distance.
Is it consistent in terms of this control tyre concept, or is it just a limited choice of tyres?
We have a limited choice. We've always had Dunlops available, and we've had Goodyears available for some time, but they've become short supply in some size. Avons are allowed in some of the categories.
And overall, in terms of component availability and all the rest of it, how easy is it to maintain one of these?
Thank you very much.
Look forward to have you joining us for this afternoon's race, if you'd be so kind. Terrific. Okay, back to you for the moment, Frank.
And thank you very much, Ron and Andrew. That was M&O Racing, and that was over 5 laps. The quickest time out there was a 108.5.
Max gets the chevron kicking in. A good start there. Ray Kenny in second position. Wayne Vinks under threat there, but the crew couldn't actually get the clubman round him, so Vinks in the Datsun 2000 holding third position there. Last of the cars go through that right-hander to head away up the hill. So we've got Wayne Vinks trying very hard to get up with Ray Kenny there. And Max Brunninghausen leading with Ray Kenny under serious threat from Wayne Vinks. So the Thompson Sport under serious attention from the Datsun 2000, Clubman, the ARA Clubman sitting in behind, and then the Lotus Super 7 as well. Good mixture of cars in this field. Always interesting variety. We talked about variety. I see another car coming through. That's car number 11. That's the lightweight Sprite with Colin Dodds at the wheel. That's left-hand drive as well, which I haven't asked Colin to do, as Wayne Vinks has got through ahead of Ray Kenny, so now, lap time at that point, have we got anything coming through?
1:16.73 for our race leader, Vinks, a 1:20.57, Kenny, a 1:20.65, and that rounds up the top three, Andrew.
Okay, well let's pick up some of those other cars further back because we didn't give them a mention earlier on. So we've got 72 going through there, which is Morris Blackwood. That's another Lotus Super 7. We'll pick up the other ones next time round as they come through. So they're just going through the right-handed, head away up the hill, just as our leader, Max Brunninghausen, in car number 48, the Chevron, heads down towards the gurgler now. Very, very comfortable lead for Max there.
What I think's happening here, Andrew, on our left-hand side of the track, it's damp. On the right-hand side, up in the last turn onto the main straight, is dry.
Okay, well that of course is going to make life interesting for people. Big move there in the braking zone for the gurgler by Colin Dodds in car number 11, the lightweight Sprite. Got through there ahead of number 16, which was Lynn Cooper in that U2 Clubman.
And here comes our race leader down over the start-finishing line, pick up in 109.48.
Okay, well Vinks still running in second position from Kenny. Then we've got Leclerc, and then we've got Evans.
Vinks, a 1:10.64, Kenny, a 10.8.
Okay, coming down towards the start-finish line now, we've got Colin Dodds in number 11. Then we've got number 16, that's Lynn Cooper in that U2 Clubman. We've got 72 followed by 117, so 72 was Morris Blackwood, and then Pat Goulding in 117, that's the Nota Hillman Sportsman. So we'll pick up the other two cars at the tail next time as they come through, give them a mention. Ray Kenny under brakes, trying to do something about Wayne Vinks as they go into the gurgler, not able to do anything there, and the moment is in the braking area now where Ray Kenny goes through on the inside as they come through now side by side through the right-hander to come back onto the straight, so Ray Kenny managed to outbrake significantly there Wayne Vinks in the Datsun 2000, side by side still as they run down towards the start-finish line. This will be interesting, the sweeper, and then also down in the braking area at the end of the straight. Ray Kenny holding the inside line there, down into the braking area now. Goes in quite deep. Wayne Vinks comes back at him, tries to come up with a crossover move, and it's worked. He's up alongside him now, so Ray's got the inside line through that left-hander as they go up the hill, but Wayne Vinks has managed to get ahead now and heads through the turn.
And Kenny in car 57 at 109.42.
Okay, we said we'd mention some of the other cars in the field, so we've got number 40, and that's Peter Cohen in the HRB Ford Special, and 69 was Brad Goulding in the Nota Sportsman. And towards that first right-hander, and obviously this battle for second position where Ray Kenny in the Thompson Sport is still determined that he'll do something about Wayne Vinks in the Datsun 2000, sitting there right on the tail now, just using the slipstream. Not able to get close enough, looking for a line on the sweeper, but no, Vinks is able to cover that down into the braking area now. Vinks holds it through there, gets through, and we've got one of the clubmen going out onto the dirt there in the gurgler, so that's 117, that's Pat Goulding in the Nota Hillman Sportsman. And meanwhile, that battle for second position still taking place across the top of the... isn't it?
Certainly is. He's not hard on the pedal either, Andrew. Just watching him come down into that big left-hand sweeper into the gurgler, it was right off the power, and you'll see him coming down onto the main straight, that last turn 8, off the power a little bit also.
Well, given that he had said he'd had some problems with the brakes, I mean, he doesn't need to be over heavy with things, so he can actually now drive at a pace that just suits him comfortably.
Pick up the time for you. Yeah, see the time's gone out to a 109.54.
Okay, well we've got Ray Kenny trying, getting up alongside Wayne Vinks. May just have the inside through the sweeper, side by side through the sweeper now, down into the braking area. Looks like Kenny's got this situation there, but Vinks comes back to the crossover. Kenny's a bit wiser to it this time, but no, Vinks gets through there. No, he doesn't. So great dice here for second position.
Yeah, good dicing between Ping and the whole race, and because this now on their 6th lap, and of course it's over 9 laps.
Okay, well this is interesting as they come down the hill.
Underneath him he went.
Oh, trying very, very hard. Outside line here. Is he going to be able to hold it? Is he going to outside Kenny and be able to do the crossover? No, Kenny's wise to that one, so he goes around the outside of him. Oh, great piece of driving there from Wayne Vinks in car number 76, the Datsun 2000.
He's got it.
That was really good there.
Come down onto the main straight again.
But as they say in the movies, he'll be back. Ray Kenny is not going to let him get away with that. He'll be determined to still be in the action there. And Vinks has opened up the gap, but I suspect that Ray Kenny will gather his thoughts together and get that Thompson Sport just that little bit closer to the Datsun 2000. I wonder if it's even wetter just that little bit further over, Frank, just looking.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, conditions obviously then will be interesting, I think is the technical term. And down into the gurgler now, we've got Colin Dodds in the lightweight Sprite, and then we've got Max Brunninghausen, who was very slow in there, so...
Yeah.
I think obviously conditions starting to present Wayne, but won't please Ray, because he'll have to do all of that work all over again to close that gap.
And our race leader down onto the main straight, very, very slow through turn 8.
Okay, well, we'll keep watching there as the wiper goes on the chevron, so obviously conditions starting to close in a bit. Colin Dodd's buttoning off a bit there as well, so probably getting...
Oh, I just think Ray Kenny lost it.
Yep, on that right-hander coming through onto the main straight, so no chance
Another
now.
Morgan off down here. Nope, he's picked the line back up again and back onto the black stuff.
Don't upset Ken, there isn't a Morgan, it was just a Tubman. Don't worry.
Oh.
That's all right, you probably had Ken jumping up and down.
Oh.
Okay, well look, now just look at that separation between Colin Dodds and Max Brunninghausen. I mean, it's just holding pretty much, so presumably the conditions out there are becoming... no wiper working this time, so obviously conditions a bit variable all the way round.
Tell you what, Vinks let it slide out there on turn 8 too. Just let it slide out.
That's always been an impressive car. I mean, it was when David Stone was driving it. It seems to be very, very competitive.
I think Kenny's got a problem again.
Yeah, Ray Kenny there in the Thompson Sport and that right-hander coming onto the straight, so just trying to get round, and he's through and he's past Colin Dodds now, so second place car coming through, and you're right just how slowly that Max is running the chevron through there, but at least he'll make it to the finish to take the checkered flag. So that's Max Brunninghausen, car number 48, the chevron, B8, and then second place will be Wayne Vinks in the Datsun 2000, car number 76. Okay, well...
That ends the M&O and invited Q Sports cars over 9 laps. The next event...
Time in car number 33, that's the Elwyn 002.
Again, 2 warm-up laps because of the coolness of the circuit. A little bit of rain didn't help matters. Interestingly enough, I did ask Richard what his start pressures were. He wouldn't give me exact numbers, but we've also got Brian Briscoe out there. He's test driver for the Toyota Formula One team. So a couple of young up-and-coming Aussies who've cut their teeth in Formula Ford and gone on to bigger and better things.
And of course the big thing is always they actually have to go overseas to get the opportunity, because that's the way that motorsport operates in terms of where the primary activities are.
Inevitably.
Okay, well look, Ty Hanger coming down to take up pole position, so car number 48, alongside is Chris Farrell in car number 35, Richard Carter in car number 1, Michael Henderson in car number 2. We did mention that that's the ex-Nicky Lauda car. Any other information that you can give us on that one, Chris?
A year earlier than the car beside it. Car number 2 is 722 and car number 1 is a 73B. They're both Marches, of course. Car 14 is Peter Addison in the Chevron B29. And Cole Haste, car number 44. Coles is a 77 Lola T560 running a BDA 1600.
Okay,
so
well our starters are just about getting ready, and
good.
The flag is up, and we're racing.
Excellent start by Ty Hanger again, but Chris has grabbed obviously second gear and is into third, coming up to the right-hander. Big lock up by Carter, or nearly a touch on Farrell by Carter, but capitalising on that, we've got Addison and, of course, the march of Michael Henderson. But Carter's got his act together now and maintains third pace up to the top. But it's Ty Hanger in the lead with pressing Chris Farrell in the Chevron.
Okay, well obviously with the weather conditions this afternoon we shouldn't expect anything spectacular in lap times, but any idea what times we might expect to see, Chris?
58s. pretty quick. I mean, around here, under a minute is virtually flying. Right now, it looks like it's a nice, clean first lap, and with Addison absolutely pressing Michael Henderson onto the main straight. Will they be able to continue that with the extra power of that march?
A big lock up from Richard Carter there at the end of the straight recovers the situation, so Richard trying very, very hard there.
Hanger at 103.05, Farrell at 103.99 and Carter at 105.97 from a standing start. That's pretty quick, fellas.
It is. And meanwhile, back at the tail end, we've got one of the Formula Fords coming in, and one's had a little bit of a loop onto the main straight, a character building exercise for one of the young guys. In the meantime, the field's fairly well strung out. It just shows the various speed differentials between the four classes of cars that are out there at the moment.
Yeah, we've still got that Addison-Henderson battle taking place now, just coming onto the back straight now, so Michael Henderson leading Peter Addison.
Addo should have a big go here under brakes. Indeed does, and passes him, gets him under the right-hander. That might have been a gentlemanly gesture by Michael, I think not. We'll see what happens down the main straight. Addo doing his very best, but of course Michael's 2-litre car is just doing so well in a straight line. Runs a BDA 1975cc, a 2-litre BDA.
The top four are under 1 minute. We've got Hanger at 57s, Farrell at 57s, Carter 58s, and the quickest lap over there, Berryman, 56.14.
In the Formula Ford. Just getting back to the Addison battle, the Chevron that Addison's driving is 1600cc, so just bear in mind that the leads him comfortably. Maybe a misgear change by Michael, but we can only speculate from this point. In the meantime, back we've got Ty Hanger across the line for the third time. Chris Farrell second in the Chevron, and of course Richard Carter holding down third in the March 73B.
Okay, well we've got Hanger on a 57.4, Farrell on a 57.56 and Carter on a 58.11.
Addison 2010.
109.76, so yeah, so there's a...
Oh yes.
In the meantime, onto the main straight, we've had the sports car come off big time in a large spin. That explains the dust down there at that end of the circuit. Car number 41. Of course,
that's Ian Ross in the Alpine.
In the Alpine 360. So he's just done a 360, so it's living to its name.
Yeah, spot on. 57.45 and Farrell at 57.95 and Carter at 57.78. So Richard just starting to get back into the groove there, I think.
Andrew, it does bring home to light when you're in a commentary position to note that you're actually making strawberry jam out of something else in a race like this where the field is indeed strung right out.
Yep, and we've got Walt Donnelly parked on the outside up the top of the hill there, and just on the outside of that second right-hander. Yeah, I mean, it really is something, when we look at this disparity in terms of speed between the cars, really requires everyone to be very much on their toes, because the different, well, there's a classic example. Richard Carter just waved through there by another driver who's obviously on the ball, but everyone, I should think, finds this situation quite challenging, Chris.
In the meantime, Walt Donnelly's fired up and back on the circuit. Spread right out, it's still a race of interest, because tyres, clearly, you've only got to have a hiccup, a misgear change, or a brake lock-up, and you can be back into the clutches of the pursuers.
Yeah, and everyone's times came off that time round, so we went out to a 58.55 for a tie, a 59.43 for Chris Farrell and Richard Carter on a 58.33. And when we get a time for Peter Addison, 1:00:09.
Interesting enough, the mix of cars, you notice that Walt Donnelly's coming in the Sports 2000, which is the Ford Pinto engine car. It's a 2-litre car with all-enveloping bodywork. He may have had a nudge on the spoiler or something. The Milano GT, which is a closed sports car, you can see. Quite a late model car, and mixing it with the open wheelers. Some of the drivers don't really like that. but at the same time he's doing an excellent job. Clearly large disparity in terms of performance of that, but Scott's doing a great job in that Holden-powered Australian-built special.
Well, this is one of the problems we've got. I mean, it does happen in other categories as well. We run NA with NB and even NC at times, and again, huge discrepancies there. Requires everyone to pay a fair amount of attention, and also some good flagging as well to help people.
Indeed, the flaggies have done a great job this weekend. Congratulations to them and to Charles Jardine and the team in putting together another excellent Wakefield Park race meeting. Because without the officials, we racers would be nowhere, and it's great to see them out there helping us in a volunteer capacity.
Berryman's still got the fastest lap out there, 56.14, currently in 6th place.
I might add that Farrell looks like he might have chosen to go the safe bet. Chris maybe have suffered a gear selection problem. It would appear that way out of the gurgler. Maybe second gear's his problem, but very close again, a tenth between them over the line. Chris's hard-engine car, obviously that little bit of extra capacity is standing in instead.
Down into the gurgler this time round, so just coming through that left-hander. Having a very lonely race there, but don't let's take anything away from him. Having an excellent drive out the front there.
Done a great job. I mean, it's good to see these young guys in the racing where age and treachery has beaten youth and enthusiasm for years. On this instance, it's we've got Cole Haste out the back, just going up.
Trying to get up with Chris Farrell.
Large gap.
It won't happen, but not for the want of trying. So
an excellent second and an excellent third place from Chris Farrell and Richard Carter.
Be interested to see what happens to the two of them at Eastern Creek in September at the historic meeting then.
I can update the times for you. Berryman didn't have the fastest time now. That's all been changed again at 56.14. Didn't exist. Hanger got the quickest time of 57.4, and he won the race.